fall must-read books. I'm pretty excited about it. Excitement of the annual Halloween parade. That's Shay, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Sarah Jane, and I have been doing a YouTober series here on my channel where I share all things fall, and this is like my little coffee corner nook of the internet. So today I'm going to be talking about my fall must-read books, and these are books that I have scoured through Pinterest, bookstores, fall recommendations on YouTube, and picked the ones that really resonated with me and that I thought felt so right to read this season. I think there's nothing like curling up with a good book when it's chilly and the rain is dripping outside the window and there's a fireplace glowing and their dog is at my foot. Like, everything about reading in fall is just like a must. I have 6 books that I'm going to be sharing today, and let's get into it. The first 3 are actually part of the same series. You've probably heard a lot of people talk about the second book actually, which is the Bake Shop at Pumpkin and Spice. That one is always recommended by people, but no one ever talks about the first book or the third book, so I personally want to read all 3. I think they all sound great. So the first book is called The Cottage on Pumpkin and Vine. So for this one, it says, "Welcome to Moonbright, Maine, where the scents of donuts and cider waft through the crisp night air with just a hint of magic. That it's time for the annual Halloween costume party at the Cottage on Pumpkin and Vine, the perfect place to celebrate the pleasures of the season. Guests return to the picturesque bread and breakfast year after year to snuggle up in its cozy rooms, explore the quiet tree-lined streets, and enjoy all the spooky fun of the holiday. But local legend whispers that it's also a place where wishes have a strange way of coming true. For 3 unsuspecting revelers, it's going to be an enchanted weekend of candy corn kisses and midnight black kittens, along with some real Halloween surprises, the kind that make your heart skip a beat for many more celebrations to come." So that sounded like really cute. This is going to be the first book I read out of the books that I'm mentioning, and I'm pretty excited about it. It just sounds like it's a good intro into this season. The second book, which is the one that everyone always recommends, is the Bake Shop at Pumpkin and Spice. And the series itself is called the Moonbright, Maine series. So it says, "Every autumn, Moonbright, Maine is the picture of charm with its piles of crisp leaves, flickering jack-o'-lanterns, and a touch of the sweetest kind of enchantment. Witches, goblins, the occasional ghost, they're all sure to be spotted at the annual Halloween parade, where adults and children alike dress in costumes to celebrate Moonbright's favorite holiday. And no place has more seasonal spirit than Balloona's Bake Shop, a family business steeped in traditional recipes, welcoming warmth, and, legend has it, truly spellbinding, heart-melting treats. Between good-natured Halloween tricks, frothy pumpkin lattes, and some very special baked goods for 3 Moonbright residents looking for love, whether they know it or not, the spookiest thing will be how magical romance can suddenly be." One thing I don't know about this series is if their main characters are consistent throughout the books, or if there are different characters and then the only thing that's similar is the town. I'm not really sure. But everyone always recommends this one, so I'm excited to read that next. And then the last book in the series, which I also have on my list, is The Cafe Between Pumpkin and Pie. So it says, "In Moonbright, Maine, there is a pumpkin on every porch, fresh brewed apple cider in every cup, and the sweetest sorcery in the air. Before, after, and even during the excitement of the annual Halloween parade, gathering at the corner cafe is a beloved Moonbright tradition. Costume revelers of all kinds come for the famous whoopie pies, the heartfelt hospitality, and the chance to hear the town's spookiest stories and local legends whispered to their younger generation. The most magically romantic legend of all promises that is a Moonbright woman will marry the man she sees reflected in the mirror on Halloween." Ooh, I don't know how I feel about that. That's like very Snow White-esque. For 3 such singles, the crunch of fall leaves and the fragrance of fresh baked pie sets the perfect stage for this most tantalizing trick and most delightful treat, the genuine enchantment of true love. So in reading these descriptions, it sounds kind of romantic. Never read them, but I'm very excited. So it just feels like, it just sets the mood for fall, and I'm just so pumped. I'm literally starting to read these as soon as I finish this video. Like, I'm just so excited. I've been waiting 2 months since I've discovered this series to start reading them, and now that fall is finally here, I can finally start reading them. So I'm really excited. So that's my one series on this list. My next book is from an author named Jenny Colgan. Now, I've read her Beach Street Bakery series, which is amazing. I love those a lot. They're really great to get lost into a book and just kind of like a really easy read, which I appreciate as someone who is a student. When I read, I really want to read things that are just easy. So her book, The Bookshop on the Corner, is about a woman who is a literary matchmaker. She pairs readers with their perfect book, and she's very good at her job. And then she used to work as a little library in a city, and then something happened and she doesn't have that job anymore. So she moves to a sleepy village, far away, and she buys a van and transforms it into a bookmobile. So a mobile bookshop that she drives from neighborhood to neighborhood, changing, and like continues her passion for storytelling that way. So yeah, that just seemed like it was really like fun and cozy. I think bookshops for me are like the epitome of feeling like fall. I just love going into bookstores, especially on a rainy fall day, and it's chilly and you just cuddle up in a corner. So that's kind of the vibe that I felt from this book, and since I have read this author before and really loved her work, I knew that I had to add this book onto the list for me to read. Next up, my fourth book is Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I found this book on a recommendation list from YouTube, and I don't remember what YouTuber recommended it, but I remember listening to the description and being really intrigued. So it's about a circus. It suddenly just appears. There was no really announcement for it. And it's only open at night. But apparently there are a lot of things that happen behind the scenes of the circus. There is a duel between two young magicians. The description of the book is pretty vague. So that's all I really can share about it. But it seemed really interesting, and I'm not really big into circuses, but whoever recommended this said that it just had really great fall vibes, and I hadn't really heard of a book like this before, so I thought that, you know what, I'd be into it. Book number 6 and the last book on my list is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. Now, a little side note, I am from the South. I'm from South Carolina. So for me, as soon as I saw the Southern Book Club, I was like, what is this book? And then I thought it was really interesting because it was about slaying vampires. I was like, what in the world? So for me, I was just like, you know what? Let me just pick this up. And I thought it was really interesting when I read the description. So it's about Patricia Campbell, who has always planned for a big life, and after giving up her career as a nurse to marry an ambitious doctor and become a mother, Patricia's life has never felt smaller. A stranger moves into the neighborhood, and the people in the book club get a little speculative. Some of the local children begin to go missing, and she begins her own little investigation. So I thought that since it had a vampire in it, that was kind of very Halloween-y. And I love that it was from a Southern Book Club perspective. So I thought that was just really interesting. The book itself, I saw this at the bookstore, and it was, hi Cider. I saw this in the bookstore, and I thought that the book itself just felt so heavy, and like it had a really interesting cover. And I know that you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but marketing is a thing. So I wanted to add that to my list this year to read in the fall. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Those are my 6 books that I'm reading for fall this year. Let me know in the comments below what books you're going to be reading this season. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe so that you can keep up with my YouTober series, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.